Hey everyone, welcome back to another video here at the Now Pursuit, and this is another one of our informational videos. This one, we actually got a lot of direct messages and just like how do you travel, how do you plan your travel days? Like how do you plan where you're gonna go next? Are you gonna stay in the snow? Like a lot of those kind of like planning our travels. So we figured this informational video might help anybody who's interested in that area of our life. Right?
yeah. Anybody who's interested, please go ahead and give us a DM, give us a question. We love to answer those questions. We love to comment. We love to talk. We love community. So anything that you guys would like to know, we're gonna try and just say it off the bat. You know, hopefully we answer the questions before you even ask the question. But if there's anything that we did miss, just let us know, and then we're gonna try to get back to you ASAP.
Yes, and create videos like this one. So hope you enjoy and hope you get something from it. All right, so we are going to, okay, you see that we're at a different place. Yesterday, the kids were everywhere. And so now we're here at the playground.
Which is at the same resort that we're at right now, but it's just a different part of the resort. Went to the playground.
We'll be able to be more present with you, sharing the information we want to share. So how we plan our travels. So we're gonna just break it down for you guys, like how we do it, and then hopefully it helps.
First thing that we do is that we look ahead, we look to the future, and we see what do we want to do, where do we want to go, who do we want to see, and we go from there.
And if there's somewhere we're supposed to be by a certain time. So then we track how long does it take to get there? Like how many hours in total, how many days it's gonna take, and that is the next step that we would take.
Then we would see realistically how long would it take for us to get there day after day. Like we don't like to drive more than an hour and a half to 2 hours. So realistically, it'll probably take us a little bit longer to get there. So
yes, and we learned that the hard way, not the hard way, the long way, because at first we were driving 4 to 6 hours, but with kids, 4 to 6 hours is actually more like 8 to 9 hours.
yeah, it's like double the time, like
Yeah.
almost double the time.
So we definitely now do like an hour and a half, 2 hours max per day. So that's what we decided for our family. So yeah, so once you have that figured out, how long do you want to travel each day? Also, how long do you want to stay at each spot? And that all depends on what we want to see along the way. If we want to see anybody along the way, maybe we know people in other states. Also determines like how long we're going to stay.
And we do a really good job on tracking when we're going to be waking up, when we want to leave by whatever time, and we're going to be in this state on this day. So we have a really good rhythm on figuring out the timing, realistic timing of what we're going to get there and what we're going to be and where we're going to be on this certain day. And then that'll also help us so we can see family members, we can see sites, we could do a what's it called, a field trip day, go to a museum,
homeschooling,
do some schooling, and see something that you don't usually get to see in other parts of the country. And because we are mobile, we have that capability.
Yes. And do we, a question that kind of came to mind, maybe you're asking yourself is, will we go out of our way to see like a family or friend? If they're not, I think we would adjust our plans, our route, depending on how far they are. With that note of like visiting people, so we have done that like in New Mexico. We actually were traveling in the south, but we had family in the north part of New Mexico. So instead of going to Texas, because we didn't really have like an actual need to go to Texas, we just wanted to. We just shifted our routes and decided to head up instead of like north instead of continuing east in order to see our family. So we will readjust along the way. It's the actual destination we're trying to get to that doesn't really change. But the route there can be adjusted.
Right.
So
if we could get there in the same amount of time and it doesn't change much, we just have to go left instead of right, that's fine. We're cool with that.
Yeah. And then the next thing after we have how long it's going to take to get there, what and who we want to see along the way, and how often we want to drive and stay at places. Then we look at what memberships do we have. And we do have a membership video you can take a look at. But that will also determine, like kind of factor in, because is there any Thousand Trails on the route? Is there any Passport America? Is there any Harvest Host? And that determines where we'll actually end up staying when we get there.
Yep. And then there's also this one website that you were using. What's that website?
Overnight RV parking.
And it's basically just telling you all these spots that you can do an overnight parking at. And that's actually how we found out about the casinos. That's how we found out about the Cabela's. We already knew about the Walmarts, but that was on that website as well. So that's just confirming what we already knew. And that website is definitely something that you should have if you are on a budget. Like us, you know, we just like to spend money on more quality things. You know?
Yeah,
so,
we don't mind staying at a Walmart
yeah,
for a
especially
night,
when
and
it's
we're okay with
when
that.
it's a night and we actually learn how our heater works. So that's what we like to let you guys know about.
Yeah, because on this app too, it shows you which Walmarts are okay to stay at. Some Walmarts don't allow you to, or some places you would think normally would. It has like a big red light that says nope. No one stays there.
The tools also that we use, like that, those are tools to go along with the membership. But the actual tools that we use on our travel days is the Atlas and the GPS. The Atlas because there's not a lot of signal in some of these areas. And
that will show like we have a Atlas that has very specific, like here's the highway, the numbers, everything. Like it feels like you're zoomed in without zooming in. So
what you guys got over there? For the GPS tool, that's just our way of using it. We do hear about other families who use the Garmin trucker GPS, and that just puts in your height, your weight, your length of your rig, so that you can go under some bridges and you don't have to stop and back up the traffic behind you, and also mess up your rig. So that's a tool that we've heard of other people using. So far, we haven't had any problems. We take the interstate, and the interstate is trucker routes. All interstates, the 5, the 10, those are all routes that the truckers take because it's more of a straighter path and not, big incline or big decline roads. So we recommend that if you're not getting the Garmin trucker GPS app.
Device.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we learned the long way around, because there's been moments where the bottom of our rig scraped because the incline was too much or what have you, and we have a really big rig.
Yeah,
so
thank God it was steel enforced, because we got these big steel frames on the backhand. So I think they already knew that was going to happen.
Probably, yeah, because it's happened quite a bit for us. Our rig's so big.
Yep.
So that is kind of how we map it out. But the underlying current, in all of our personal travels, we wanted to kind of throw out there all the practical stuff, but is that we do live by faith. So everything we mentioned to you, we also put into prayer. And if God leads us in a different direction or had to go about planning the route, we will follow that first, that leading. For instance, we've stationed around Long Beach for a couple months. We've traveled day by day, and we've also traveled at slower paces, which is what we're doing right now. And all of those are options that are doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's getting easier and easier too.
Yeah.
It's getting easier and easier to live by faith each and every day, because that's what we've been doing on this entire journey, as you guys have already known. So we just want to let you guys know that it's doable. If we can do it, you can do it. And it's really just a mustard seed that you actually need. And it's not the quantity of it, but it's the quality of your faith. So if you just go ahead and just give 100%, just a little bit, you can work miracles, and you can do all this too.
Yes, and all it takes is just trusting God. And honestly, too, it makes it way more adventurous.
Oh man, it's so much fun. The kids, for us, for our family, for the community that we're building with friendship and with other families, we encourage you to do so.
Yeah, to live by faith and just know that God's got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I think that's everything. Definitely comment below anything that landed for you, and if you have any other, because this was a video, like we said in the beginning, that was inspired by a question that we received.
Yeah.
Actually, a couple questions that we received. Oh, and then to end on this note, are we gonna stay in the snow? Because we did get that question.
Yep.
We were gonna,
Yeah, we were,
But
but
now
things change.
yeah.
We're just like, we're being called in a different direction. So we will eventually, but for right now, that's in the near future. That's really not our plan. Maybe in the next year or two, we'll see. But if you do have any tricks or tips for those snow days, those snow travels, we'd like to, hear about that too.
Yeah, because we can't make a video about that. We don't know.
We don't
We
know.
haven't had experience
We
in
don't
that
know.
area
So
yet.
if you got a good video, let us know.
Yeah.
Put a link between us two.
Yeah.
We'll let people know.
Yeah. So thank you so much for being here with us. I hope that this helped.
Yes.
Supported you guys in any way. And yeah, we'll see you at our next video.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.